I've been an example for the rest of my life, and I will be an example even in my grave. I will never retreat. I will never surrender to white supremacy. No prison can make me to retreat from my ideas. No death will threaten me to retreat from my ideas. Nobody will ever intimidate me and change me for who I am, because I am black, and I'm proud to be black, because I'm a voice of the black people, and I'm proud to be the voice of black people. Kill me now if you want to kill me. Kill me, coward. You are scared of a political debate. You use court to settle the political differences. I am not scared of prison, neither am I scared of death. When I joined the struggle, I knew three things might happen to me. They will either arrest me, or they will either kill me. If they don't kill me, I will attain my freedom.
That this war against the commander-in-chief did not start today. Even when the president was leading young people in the youth league, they were taking him to court every day and every year. President, even when you were young, you defeated them. So why do they think they can touch you now when you are stronger, when you have more experience, when you have so many fighters in South Africa who are willing to put their bodies on the line, when you have so many students who will bring this country into a standstill? They will never, because they failed to defeat you when you were a young person. President, we know where the instruction to arrest you came from. When Ramaphosa took white people to the White House, I'm not John Steinhazy, no Rupert. Donald Trump asked Ramaphosa a simple question: why are you not arresting this man? So Ramaphosa came back to South Africa together with AfriForum, sent by Donald Trump, thinking that they can arrest you, President. Donald Trump must know this is not in Venezuela. He will never bully the EFF. He will never bully fighters of the EFF. He will never bully the youth of South Africa. Amanda! Hey,
wow, what a powerful and revolutionary message from CIC Julius Malema, the president of Economic Freedom Fighters in South Africa. As you heard, family, brothers and sisters, Julius Malema has declared that he's not scared to be in prison, he's not scared to be assassinated, because he knew when he joined the struggle that whether he would be assassinated, or he would be jailed, or he will win the struggle. So those three things will happen, whether for him to win the battle, or to be in jail, or to be assassinated. So he's not scared anyone and anything. And Malema has become the only African politician who can confront US President Donald Trump without fear. While we have seen other African leaders fearing even to speak anything about America, about Trump, Malema has come out and speak louder without fear of anyone. And he's confronting Trump live without fear of anyone. So, brothers and sisters, in this video, we are going to share the feelings and the pain of Africans due to what is happening to Julius Malema. Right now, we see young people, youth, children, mothers, elders, religious people coming together to defend Julius Malema. This
They say history doesn't repeat, but it echoes. And right now, in the courtrooms of South Africa, a new echo is ringing across the nation. It's not just about Julius Malema, it's about pain, about memory, about identity. Black South Africans are beginning to carry something heavy, something that feels familiar. The last time we saw faces like this was during the trial of Nelson Mandela and the mourning of Chris Hani. This isn't just a court case, this is a turning point. Julius Malema, leader of the economic freedom fighters, is back in court, again. But this time the room feels different. The energy is different. It's not just his supporters filling the benches, it's grandmothers, students, pastors, working mothers, fathers in silence, people from all walks of life, united by pain and a sense that something bigger is happening. For many, it's not about whether Malema is innocent or guilty. It's about what he represents, a voice that speaks the anger, the frustration, and the unfinished business of a so-called post-apartheid South Africa. We've seen this before. In 1962, a young Nelson Mandela stood before a court and said, "I am prepared to die." The people wept, not because of guilt or fear, but because they saw themselves in him, a symbol, a burden, a hope. In 1993, when Chris Hani was assassinated, Black South Africans gathered in grief and anger. His death shook the nation, and many feared the dream of freedom was slipping away. Now, decades later, another figure, controversial, defiant, and unbending, is stirring that same emotion. Malema's pain is becoming the people's pain. Unlike past legal battles, this one is awakening something deeper. People are not just watching from a distance. They are feeling it. Because behind the legal jargon and political noise, the message is clear. Black voices that refuse to be controlled are still being silenced. AfriForum and the DA may claim neutrality, but their actions have triggered something they weren't prepared for: unity. The more they try to discredit him, the more the streets start to whisper, they're afraid, because he won't be another Mandela they can mold. Pain is a powerful teacher, and in South Africa, pain has always carried purpose. It united the people against apartheid. It carried the freedom songs, the marches, the protests, and now it's carrying the faces of those sitting quietly in the back of the courtroom, because they know this isn't just about Malema. It's about every township still neglected, every promise unfulfilled, every youth without a job, every dream delayed. This pain is being carried home, to churches, to community halls, to WhatsApp groups and dinner tables. And pain, when shared, becomes a spark. Whether you support him or not, Julius Malema is walking a path that few dare to walk. And that's what makes heroes. Not comfort, not applause, but battle. And this battle, this trial, might just be the one that redefines him in the eyes of history. Like Mandela before him, Malema is now becoming something more than a politician. He's becoming a symbol, not of perfection, but of defiance, not of compromise, but of conviction. And the people, when are beginning to feel it. The media won't show you the tears of the old woman in the courtroom. They won't show the silence of the young man who came alone just to witness history. They won't show how the people are quietly beginning to carry his pain as their own. But history will. History remembers pain, and it remembers the ones who stood up, even when the world turned its back. So whether or not Julius Malema becomes president, one thing is already clear. The struggle has found a new face, and the people have found a new reason to rise.
Yes, here we are. Welcome back, family, brothers and sisters. As you heard, Malema is facing charges, and we as Africans, we are feeling the pain to see that Malema is being charged and of course accused for something that sometimes it looks like it is political game. And it is political game because there is a big fear among white minority that because of the growing of the population of black people, they fear that through votes, because of majority black people, Malema can become a president of South Africa. And if Malema can become a president of South Africa, of course, he has already declared that if he would become a president of South Africa, he will take back the land from white minorities to the right owners who are black majorities. So they fear that if Malema will be a president, he will take the land. So they are trying to do everything that Malema will not be a president of South Africa. First of all, they are trying to take him to court, to remove him from political track, and trying to disturb him so that he can focus much on cases and issues on court instead of focusing on political issues. And Malema has become the only African politician who can defend black majority. You know, even when Traore was disturbed, the only black politician who came out first and speak about Captain Traore and Burkina Faso and accused of being using gold reserve to protect himself, Malema came out and said, "You, General Lang, American general, what you are saying is not true. Traore is defending the people of Burkina Faso against exploitation from France. But when you say Traore is using gold reserve to protect himself, you want to create chaoses in Burkina Faso, you want to create destabilization in Burkina Faso, because if you accuse a leader, it means you create narratives for the people to believe that a leader is stealing from them. Then leaders become hated by his people. That's what you want to create." Malema came out and said, no, this is not okay. Now you see they're coming back to Malema. And as I said, the big fear of white minority in South Africa and those who are controlling the economy of South Africa, they fear Malema to be a president. So if Malema will be a president, we take the land back, and the land, we know what is inside the land. Underground, there's minerals, there's oil, there's natural gas, there's agriculture, there's investment. So they fear that if the government will take the land, they will lose resources. And that's why they are trying to do everything. They are lobbying Africans, they are lobbying some people to see that Malema is found guilty. And that's why you saw when Ramaphosa went to White House, he was asked by Donald Trump, why not arresting this man? Why you are not arresting Julius Malema? So you see, of course we know that Malema they're trying to find a position where they can arrest Julius Malema. And the plan is to jail Julius Malema, to silence him. Whether Malema has to accept to be silenced or to be jailed. So I think this is a time for we Africans to come together, to unite, to support one another. You know, this is not the struggle of Malema. This is not the struggle of EFF. This is the struggle of black people. This is the struggle of all of us, the black people, majority Africans who own nothing, have been asking many times. Ask ourselves, what are we owning? Yes, you can say we have resources. Who controlling these resources? Nothing. If it's true we have resources, why Congo is begging for France, for America, for Belgium? If we are rich, we have these minerals. Why we are poor? Why we can't afford even to build schools, hospitals? So it means we have nothing. These resources that you see, it is already signed in contracts. Colonial contracts are there that these resources will be exploited by our colonial masters, maybe for certain time, or for 100 years, for 200 years. So that's why you see we have nothing. Even if we Africans, when you discover resources, where did you take those resources? You have discovered resources. Then what next? So you don't have power to extract minerals, to process those minerals. You don't have industries to build or to manufacture things. Everything is coming from out, everything. Despite we have all those resources that we are supposed to have, we have. Just imagine countries such as China that has no huge resources. We are almost the same in population. But look how the Chinese are beneficiaries of our natural resources. We say these are investors. Why Africans are not investing in Europe, in America, in China? If it's about investment. So, brothers and sisters, this is our time. This is the time for we Africans to come together, unite, and speak with one voice, demanding our position and our heritage from our ancestors. So the only way is to unite, to speak with one voice, and support one another. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make African great. Thank you, freedom. Thank you, Africa.